Hi everyone. I just wanted to post a little video just to let you know what's going on in my life. This all kind of happened pretty suddenly and quickly, but I will be actually leaving for Brazil. I just signed a 2-year contract to go down and teach at a Christian international school there. And yeah, it feels a little bit crazy, but I know God is totally in this. And so I just wanted to share just a little bit of how God prepared me because I literally had no idea I'd be leaving so quickly, or that I'd be done in Grand Rapids so suddenly. So actually, back in maybe January or February, I was at church and a man who came up to me who was, um, I guess, fairly prophetic just looked at me and he just said, You need to get your finances in order. God's getting ready to take you back to the nations. And he said, I don't really see Africa or Asia. He said, I see like South America and Central America in your future. And I just thought, oh, okay. But I knew I've been working in an inner city school here that I just am in love with, Ottawa Hills High School. I love all my students, all the people the girls that I mentor and the students that I hang out with. And so I just had no idea uh, that it was going to be happening this soon. I thought, oh yeah, one day it'll happen. And then in April, when I was on spring break, I actually got a letter of forced transfer for my school at Ottawa because we're a failing school. About 70% of the staff got forced and out of the school and was going to be placed someplace else in the districts. So when that happened, my heart just felt this release, like it's time to go. And I always felt called to Ottawa Hills High School. I always felt called to my kids there, but it appeared that the Lord was shutting the door there. And so I was like, okay, God, where do I go? And when that happened, God gave me a verse in Psalms 107 that just talks about a person who's been wandering without a city to settle in. And that's how I've been the past 9 years of my life. It's like every year God transitions me. And I was just kind of crying out to the Lord, saying, Lord, I love you and I'll go anywhere, but like, I just want a home. I just want a home. And Psalm 107 says that the Lord has like heard your cry and that he's going to give you a city to settle in. And I knew at that moment that I was going to be going someplace else. Again, I still had no idea where, and that God was in this. And so, again, in May, one of my friends texted me and was like, Tess, it's time to go. The Lord has prepared you. Like, go without expectations, but go, is basically her message. And again, I was like, okay, I'll go, but where in the world? Like, I told God, I'll go North Korea, I'll go anywhere. I don't care, as long as he's in it, I'll do it. And so, I guess I just started Googling it, and the only country that was really laid in my heart was Brazil, and I have no idea why. And I found this international school there that had a 6th grade self-contained position, and so I applied, and that was about 2.5 weeks ago when I applied. And actually, that same week I applied, I was at my high school, and one of my students who's also very prophetic, and no one knew really what was going on. This is sometimes when God speaks to me, I just kind of keep it in secret and just kind of hold on to it and say, okay, Lord, reveal it to me. Well, one of my students who had no idea what was going on in my life just walked past me, and she stopped and she turned around and she looked at me and she said, Miss Scholes, she goes, you're not going to be in Grand Rapids Public anymore. And I looked at her, I go, what do you mean? She goes, God's getting ready to take you to a different country. He's taking you back to the nations, and you're not going to be here anymore. You're going to be someplace else teaching. And I knew that God was just confirming that he's taking me. And so I asked her, I said, how did you know that? And she goes, God just showed me as I was walking past you. And I said, honey, I'll talk to you in about 2 weeks, because I wanted to let things just pan out how they would. And so I heard back from the international school from Brazil on a Friday. I interviewed and I received my placement on Monday. And they called and said, we would like you to come. And I just knew God was in it. And so, why Brazil? I don't know. I don't even know Portuguese. I know Spanish a little bit. But I just know God's good, and that wherever he calls me, I just have to run after him and do it, even though it seems sometimes crazy and it seems uncomfortable, and it's going to be sad for me to leave my family and my friends and my students that I love so much. But when God calls you, there is just blessing in it. And so I guess this is just more testimony of He's good, and wherever He goes, follow hard after Him. And I'm excited for my next journey because I know God has spoken to me. I know He's in it. And I know this wasn't just I need to travel the world. It's more like, no, Tessa, it's time for you to go again with me. And so it happened quick, but I know God has just confirmed His word, and He is taking me there. And so I'm there for at least 2 years, and who knows how much longer. So I just trust God, and I know He'll speak in my next season, just like He's spoken about every other season. And I'm so excited. So anyway, I love you all, and thank you for all your prayers. And anyone who's watching this, I just know that you've been a part of my life, and I know I'm not always around for the longest of seasons, but I love the people that God has brought into my life. So anyway, blessings. Love you all. Goodbye.